If only I knew the man competing for my role would end up stealing my heart instead. They called us rivals. Two actors in our 30s, fighting for the same spotlight, the same scripts, the same applause. Everyone around us fueled that rivalry. Agents, managers, publicists, because our competition kept them relevant. But somewhere between rehearsals, retakes, and resentment, something real began. Something terrifying. Something undeniable. And that's where my story begins. I first met Ethan Lane in an audition room with flickering fluorescent lights and the stale smell of old coffee. He walked in like he owned the place. Broad shoulders, jaw sharp enough to cut glass. The kind of confidence that made directors lean forward in their chairs. And I hated him instantly, or so I told myself. We were both in our early 30s, past the promising newcomer phase, but not old enough to be respected veterans. Which meant every role mattered. Every callback mattered. Every compliment from a casting director mattered. And Ethan, well, he collected compliments like autographs. When he performed the same scene I had just delivered, I felt something twist in my chest. Not jealousy exactly, more like recognition. Like I was watching another version of myself, only bolder. The director whispered something to the producer, and Ethan flashed a tiny smile. I clenched my jaw. I didn't know then that this man, this rival, would unknowingly become the most important part of my life. A week later, I booked the role. And so did Ethan. Two leads, opposites. Rivals in the film. Typecasting at its cruelest. The world expected fireworks between us, but the production team expected chemistry. The kind you can't fake. And that terrified me. Because even then, even before I understood what it meant, I felt something when he walked into a room. Something inconvenient. Something I refused to name. When we shook hands at the table read, his grip lingered just a second too long. Or maybe I imagined it. Looks like we'll be spending a lot of time together, he said. Try not to get in my way, I shot back. He laughed, not mocking, warm, and something inside me cracked open. Actors like us don't live alone. We come with baggage in the form of real people. Agents, publicists, stylists, coaches, assistants. People who orbit us like planets, but care mostly about staying in orbit. My team hated Ethan. Maybe because they thought he'd overshadow me. Maybe because they feared one star rising meant another falling. Maybe because they saw something in me I didn't want them to see. His team hated that he liked being around me. They fed him poison. He's insecure. He's competition. He'll drag you down. He's not worth risking your momentum. Entourages never want what's best for you. They want what's best for them. And yet, between rehearsals and shared lunches, between late-night script run-throughs and car rides, we grew close, despite them. I didn't want to, God knows. I didn't mean to, but something about Ethan felt like home. It happened during a night shoot. We were filming a highly emotional confrontation scene. Rain machines blasting, clothes soaked. Everything intense. The scene demanded raw vulnerability, anger, fear, heartbreak. Ethan delivered his lines with such force, such honesty, that for a moment I forgot the cameras, forgot the script, forgot the world. It was just him and me. When the director yelled cut, I kept staring at him like an idiot, and he stared back, breathing hard, rain dripping off his eyelashes. There was something in his eyes, something I had only ever seen in my own reflection when I dared to dream about something other than acting. Good scene, he whispered. Yeah, I said, voice shaky. We didn't touch, we didn't speak more. We didn't have to. Something had shifted. About 2 weeks into shooting, I found him sitting alone on the studio rooftop, legs dangling over the edge, staring at the city lights. You're going to fall, I said. Then sit next to me, he replied. So I did. We didn't talk about work. We didn't talk about rivalry. We didn't talk about acting. We talked about childhood, about fear, about loneliness, about how exhausting it was to constantly pretend to be someone for the world. He said, you're the only person on set who doesn't want something from me. I wanted to say, that's not true. I want something too. But I didn't. I couldn't. Instead, I leaned back, letting the cold air bite my skin. He exhaled softly. Adrian, do you ever feel like nothing in your life is real? Like it's all just costumes and applause. All the time, I whispered. He didn't say it, but I felt it. He was talking to the real me, not the rival, not the actor, just me. The moment we almost kissed happened during an unscripted pause in rehearsal. We were practicing a scene, standing close, too close for too long. He looked at my mouth. I looked at his. My heart hammered so loudly I was sure the entire studio could hear it. His breath brushed my cheek. I leaned forward. He leaned forward. And then, break time, the director yelled. We jumped apart like teenagers caught doing something forbidden. We didn't speak for the rest of rehearsal. But the question hung between us like a spotlight. What are we doing? When the tabloids got wind of our growing friendship, everything spiraled. Headlines like rival actors getting too close, secret romance on set, Ethan Lane's new obsession, Adrian Cole using relationship to get ahead. Our teams panicked. Whispers turned to warnings. Warnings turned to threats. Keep your distance from him. He's ruining your image. He's jealous of your success. He's manipulative. He wants your roles. And the worst, if you're not careful, people will think you're... They never finished the sentence. They didn't need to. Hollywood didn't forgive men like us easily. Fear poisoned everything. It happened in his trailer. The air heavy with unspoken truths. You've been avoiding me, he said. My team said. Your team? He snapped. What about you? What do you want, Adrian? I couldn't answer. He scoffed. So that's it. You believe them. You think I'm trying to sabotage you. No, I said. I think I am sabotaging you. He blinked. What? I finally let it spill. I'm scared, okay? I'm scared that I'm losing myself. I'm scared because every time you look at me, I feel something real, more real than anything in my life, and that terrifies me. Because if this, whatever this is, goes wrong, I lose you, and I can't risk that. He was silent for a long time. Then he whispered, Adrian, you already lost me. He walked out, and I let him, because I was a coward. The film wrapped. Press began. Posters went up, but we barely spoke. At the premiere, surrounded by flashing cameras and cheering fans, I felt more alone than I ever had. He was there, on the opposite side of the red carpet, looking breathtaking in his suit. Smile bright, eyes dull. We posed for photos together, but our shoulders didn't touch, and that hurt more than any critic's review. A week later, after a particularly brutal interview where a journalist tried to bait me into insulting Ethan, I left the studio shaking. Everything felt fake. My career, my entourage, my image, my entire life. I wanted something real, needed something real. I needed him. I found him on that same rooftop, the same ledge, the same city lights. Ethan, I said, breathless, I'm done running. He didn't turn. Go back to your team, Adrian. No, I whispered. I'm choosing you. He froze. I walked closer. I don't want the rivalry. I don't want the spotlight. I don't want the roles. I don't want the applause. None of that is real. Not compared to you. He turned, eyes wet. You broke my heart, he said softly. I know, I said, and I'll spend as long as it takes proving I won't do it again. I stepped forward. If you tell me to walk away, I will. But if there's even a sliver of you, it's still... He grabbed my shirt and kissed me. It was desperate, angry, tender, devastating. And real. So real. When we finally pulled back, he whispered, You're the only true thing in my life, Adrian. I cupped his face, and you're the only real thing in mine. Hollywood still talks about us. Still pits us against each other. Still writes headlines about rivalry. But that's fine. Because we know the truth. We were rivals, yes, but we were also soulmates who collided in a world built on lies. And in the end, it wasn't the movies that saved us. It wasn't the fame, it wasn't the roles. It was the love we tried so hard to ignore. Love that was the only thing real, the only thing true, the only thing worth keeping. Take one was rivalry. Take two was love. And this time, we didn't yell cut. If you liked what you just heard, do like and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, happy listening.